Hello friends, this is one more video that I'm gonna be just presenting to you today. I'll be explaining this model that you see right now in front of you, which is a Mark III Space Marine made completely out of plastic from the GW plastic kit. And as you guys probably know, this is one of my favorite, if not the favorite armor that I like. Really like these guys. They're really bulky, they're really good looking. Uh, when it comes to the lore, I also like this model, the Mark III. And this is a true scale Space Marine, as you guys can see right now. He is being enlarged, as you can say, true scale. Just to be able to fix some proportions, I'm going to be able to explain to you right now what I have done to this model. And this is just to give you some ideas. Maybe you want to do the same thing. Maybe you want to improve these models. Maybe you have in mind a special model that you want to make, a special character, and you want to, or maybe you want to do your army this way. I mean, I don't know. It can be any of those reasons or any reason you want. I really like improving these models. These models, in my opinion, look very good, and just improving these models, nothing wrong with it. What I'm gonna do right now is just I'm going to compare this guy with a normal built Space Marine, and let me just push him a little bit out of the way, and there you go. Just to make the comparison. And this model is probably, I will say that this is probably like 3 millimeters taller than this model. And I'm gonna show you right now, just so you can appreciate the change. And if you raise up to level, you can see right away that the model has been improved when it comes to the size. And it makes a big difference, in my opinion, not only because of the size. You guys know that to me, just true scaling models is just not the size alone, but just the proportions. I think when you see the model this way, and my opinion is that, I don't know, maybe the legs, the torso is just too big for the legs. The model is just, I don't know, just imbalance in the way it looks, in my opinion. So when you have something like this, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, my opinion is that it looks better. And one more time, I'm just gonna level the camera so you can appreciate the change in size and proportions. I'll say proportions more than size. As I said before, proportions, in my opinion, are more important than size, because now with technology, you just can increase the size of anything and just go 3D print something. But the only thing that you're gonna do is just have a model that is bigger and it still looks the same. So size increase is not everything. Size is not everything. I mean, that sounds kind of weird, but just that's the way it is. Size is not everything. Proportions, in my opinion, are more important. Now I'm gonna try explain, show this model with a few other models. This is a Mark. This is a Mark 6 Space Marine from the Age of Darkness kit, and this will be the model next to it, the model that has been changed. And just let me raise the camera a little bit too, so you can fully appreciate that it's slightly bigger than the Mark 6, but if you put them next to each other in a battlefield, it's not gonna look any different. It just fits right away with the Mark 6 size. And of course, you know, I have to change the model right now, and just make sure I show it next to a Primaris Space Marine. This is a Primaris Space Marine, and this is the way it looks next to a Primaris. Let me just put them next to each other in a, I guess you can say, fair way. And that way you can see right away the change in size. The Primaris is still bigger, which I think is the way it's supposed to be, but the difference is just not very notorious, I guess you can say. You can even put this guy in the battlefield with Primaris, I think, and it wouldn't look too weird. So this is the model, guys. Now I'm going to explain right now what I have done to this model. so you guys can have some idea. And as I said before, maybe you want to do some changes to your own models. I mean, why not? First thing I did to this model is just put 1mm here in the base, just to make sure that when I put my terrain, the feet don't get buried. This feet over here is slightly higher, maybe 2mm, but this feet over here is just 1mm higher. And for that I use plastic card. If you guys want to see what I do, I mean, I have a few tutorials that you guys can go check, in which I think I have one. Yeah, I do have a tutorial for this model, the Mark III, and one also for Mark IV, Mark VI, if I'm not mistaken. I have a few tutorials that you guys can go check the way I use plastic card just to change these models. The next change that I did on this model, and let me just turn this guy so we can see his rear part, is increase a millimeter, probably 1.5 millimeters in the waist, also using plastic card tubes, that way I was able to raise the middle part, just like what you see over here, the pouches. These are custom made pouches that I like to make. And the next change that I did to this model, change number 3, I guess, is just gluing the arms higher. And the reason I did that is because the head was glued, I will say maybe like 1 millimeter higher than what is supposed to be. And if you compare this model with this model over here, you're gonna notice that the head on this model over here is slightly higher, and I like it that way. I think it fixed the proportions. It doesn't seem like the head is sunk all the way in the torso, and it's very small. It's a very small change that, combined with the other changes, it really produces a really good effect. If you do that, as I explained before in other videos, if you're gonna like raise the head, in this case, I didn't add any gorget or extra color, just the way it comes in the kit, but I did raise the head. In that case, you have to raise the arms. So the arms are also like glue, I will say maybe 1 millimeter higher than what normally they are supposed to be. Glue. And the reason you do this is because if you don't do that, the model's gonna look weird. The neck's gonna just look too high. And so remember, if you're gonna raise the head, maybe 0.5 millimeter or 1 millimeter, make sure you also glue the arms a little bit higher. Okay. So this model overall, I'll say, like I explained before, is maybe like 3 millimeters taller than a normal Space Marine. Very good models, chunky guys, really good looking in the battlefield. And as you guys can see over here, this guy has been prime, has been true scale, and even apply shadow and wash, kind of like a dry brush, and it's just ready to be painted. If you want to support the channel, you can buy these models on eBay. What I do is I make these models and then I put them on eBay. Just type true scale Space Marine, and 99% of the models that you see over there is true scale are the ones that I make. And that is another way that you can support the channel. We have our Patreon account too. You can support us that way. But if you don't want to do that and just buy the model, and you can keep this model and make it fight in your army or unit, or just for display purposes. Fixing models is really nice, guys. Especially if you want to put a lot of time in one model, make it like a display model. And of course, you guys know that I also do my bases. Like in this case, I'm gonna show you the base in this guy, and I really like to make the bases look like they are in the middle of the battlefield. I mean, I don't want this guy to look like he's walking in the middle of a golf course or a soccer field or a park. So I kind of like go and the green and dark way. And when it comes to the bases, put some skulls, some terrain, some debris. And this is the model, guys, today. Hopefully you have I haven't done a Mark III in a while. And I hope that I have given you some ideas and how you can make these models look better. They're good already, but making something good look better, nothing wrong with it. And we're gonna see you in the next video, guys. And thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.